Here's another one, and I keep telling you guys, so on the YouTube channel, it's Ideas for Play. Like, if you watch enough of those videos, it's going to click in your head what's going on here and all the different applications. So some of those videos I produce myself, and then others come from my training seminars. So in this video, what you're going to see is a mixed group of people coming from mixed backgrounds, a combination of clinical backgrounds and circus backgrounds. It's about half and half in this video. This person, for example, was an OT. He's not a juggler. And I want you to watch how they all create juggling in different ways and think about some of the intentions they might have. Not just looking at the juggling that they're creating, but thinking about what they might be trying to achieve with that juggling, right? So the idea is they took the same seminar as you, and they came up, this is what they did on their last day. Activity has sound, that's music. When you start to understand the theories with two individuals, it's very easy to expand them to any amount of individuals, right? Sequence in relationships, right? Theory of process formations, it's everywhere. You see what I say now when I'm like, you know, learn the theory, but when you get to the practice, just let it go. Just let go. It's all about creativity. It's all about play. You know, we dig into the theory so that we can make that play accessible. That your job going forward now is just to create play. This solo social activity, it still confuses me why people will sit there for so long doing that one game. Like, they don't get bored of it. You know, it's very social. I think it really, you know, when you play that game, you're with that person. And I think a lot of people enjoy that part of it, because the stimulation itself, I don't feel it justifies the amount of interest I see with that activity. You know, like with the juggle board, when I'm facilitating, I got to give you a lot more stimulation to keep you focused. But then when you go to that social environment, like, I have so much attention with like not much material. It's a strange thing. And even in that, like all those educators, they start playing that game and they just love it. It's really, it looks more like dance. No, it looks like they're dancing. Here's a group from Costa Rica. You can see, you can start to use all the body parts, right? We focused on using the upper body at first, but it applies to both sets of limbs. So anyone who doesn't have arms can use their legs to juggle, right? And that all those, you can see, like, start to evaluate, are the objects in motion? Are they static? That's a good one. That one was a lot of fun. It was surprisingly more challenging than it looks like. Because like when you're looking up and the balls are crossing, it's so confusing. This is a different prop. Let me find a better one. We had some good times in Mexico, that's for sure. Yeah, who doesn't have a good time when they go to Mexico, right? What else can I show you? Some simplicity. This is a good example of increasing the scale. So at the beginning, we focus, you know, really on this micro understanding of the space, but it can expand infinite in scale, you know? So this is a situation, this is a 5-point sequencing map, and me and Josefa are juggling people. You know, think about like all this such a simple game to play. Like maybe you've even played a game like this before, right? This is like a game, but the only thing I'm doing is adding those sequencing relationships. I'm creating choreography just by communicating through touch. So that's an example of like going up in scale. Ah, okay, now I know what video I want to show. It's the Prague people. Everyone has a good time in Mexico, but Prague, those guys are really onto some social circus. Like their pedagogy there is like they're riding a wave. You should check those guys out. So this is my seminar from Prague, and I want to show this because they really applied this concept of using all the space. They were really good about that, like changing your location in space, not just making it about where your hands are in relation to your own body, but where you are in relation to other things and other people. You know, so it's all about developing spatial awareness. And super fun and silly and so easy to put this material into shows. Like imagine you have a youth project, so much creativity. That prop was built by a blind man so that he could process site swap notation. Look at this thing. This guy, every lane, the ball will roll. The center 2 lanes, the ball rolls for exactly 3 seconds. The next one, it's 4 seconds, and the other one is 5 seconds. It's a prop that allowed him to explore site swap notation. And he thought of it himself. You start to see your aerial equipment in a different way, right? This is one of my favorite examples because these 2 boys, like they're acrobats, right? They weren't so interested in the juggling. And when they start to understand that they could make the juggling big, like this is how they wanted to express. They wanted to use their whole bodies. So now they have a way to do that. Like that was a super intense way to juggle. It gets tiring really fast, but that was their way to juggle. You know, so I think that's like such a embodiment of what I'm talking about. Allowing them to choose which form of expression is best for them. So you start to see time in all of your circus props now, right? Hopefully. This should be inspiring. Scarves and rings are a really beautiful combination. So much material there. And also like very elegant as well. It's an elegant style of juggling. So, you know, for people who prefer that over like strength. Scarves and rings, beautiful. Let's do one more and then we'll play. Yeah, I guess it's gonna be these guys. These guys are still my best. I don't know. These videos are really good. So this is in another city in Czech Republic. I feel like you guys would get along with these people. And really, I just want you to see just like the different abstract applications of the same idea, right? All of it looks so different. If you watch this video before you took this seminar, maybe it wouldn't have been as clear to you that everyone is doing the same thing. But that's what's happening. Well, these girls went a little bit more contemporary dance with it, but they are all stars. Like, just, it can be complicated or it can be just about the combination of dance and juggling, right? That was another thing that was harder than it looked like. This was beautiful. And watching these 2 women play, like it was just like watching children explore. Like it was like you could have turned back the clock and they were 4 years old. Like look at them, they're just exploring. And neither of them came into the seminar saying, I am a juggler, right? And look at the beautiful juggling they're creating. I'm not sure about this one, but I liked it anyway. You know, it really starts to get interesting and you keep your kids engaged once you start adding in your location space. When you start adding in movement in space yourself, like changing where you are with the juggling, it gets into, it really stops looking like juggling. It just looks like play. Okay.